May we rise for the national anthem.
Distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen, time now is 10 a.m. and I'm pleased to welcome you to the 62nd Annual General Meeting of United Bank for Africa, PLC, Africa's Global Bank. The Secretary has informed me that a quorum has been formed. Therefore, I have great pleasure in declaring this meeting open. I will now call on a shareholder to say the opening prayer. Mrs. Abrazak, please.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alameen. All praise and honor to the Almighty, the most merciful, the most beneficent, the master of the day of judgment, and the one that has brought all of us safely to this place. We thank you for the lives of everybody in UBA. We thank you for all what you've been doing. We thank you for a successful, inspiring result. We thank you for the wonderful return on investment to shareholders. We thank you for the life of the chairman and all the executives and every member of the family. We continue to pray to you, and we are starting this event with Bismillah. May we end it with Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much. I'm pleased, distinguished shareholders, to introduce your directors present at this meeting. From my immediate right is our Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Oliver Alauba. Next is Erelu Angela Adebayo. Next is Mr. Ugo Nwaodo, our ED, Risk and Finance. Next is Her Excellency Honorary Duke, INED. Next is Dr. Kayode Shofola. Kayode Fashola. Where is that? I'm coming. You know, we have many Kayodes. Just that one is son, the other is not son. Dr. Kayode Fashola. My chair, you see, you are in my subconscious every time. And next is Mrs. Abiola Bawo, our Group Executive Director in charge of UBA Africa. All the 19 countries in Africa report to her. So you see that women can do better. Next is Mr. Emmanuel Norom, alias ENN. He's the newest, I was going to say newest kid on the block, but you can't call me a kid. Newest director on the blog. And next is Aisha Hassan Baba, ON INED. And on my far left, Alex Alozier is the Group Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer. So if your ATM is working, ATM card is working well, know who to thank. And next is Shola Yomi Ajayi. Shola is our Group Executive Director in charge of international banking, as well as our CEO for UBA America. She double hats. And next is Caroline Anyang, Chair of our Board Risk Management Committee. Next is Abdulkadir AJ Bello, NED and Chairman of Board Credit Committee. And next is Angela Aneke, INED and Chairman of our Audit and Governance Committee. And next is Muyiwa Akinyemi, our Deputy Managing Director. And finally, myself, Tony Elumelu, your chair. Thank you. I also introduce our capable, indefatigable, energetic, brilliant Group Company Secretary, Mr. Billy Odom. The man was like a machine. I was complaining that I didn't have a 6-hour sleep, but he told me, is it 2.5 or 3 hours sleep? After today, you go and sleep. I'm pleased to also note that representatives of the following regulatory bodies are present. First, the Central Bank of Nigeria, represented by Mrs. Victoria Ademosu. You're welcome, Victoria. And Jibril Ibrahim. You're welcome. Next is Securities and Exchange Commission, represented by Micah G. Sonny. You're welcome. And then Nigerian Stock Exchange, represented by Benaventure Onwuji. Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, represented by Sanusi Yahaya. And the Corporate Affairs Commission, represented by the big masquerade himself, Mr. Husseini Ishaq Magaji. Okay, I can sign this on this way, but you're representing Corporate Affairs Commission. You're welcome, man. And your name, sir? No, welcome. I'm also pleased to note the presence of the following statutory attendees. The external auditors, Ernst & Young, represented by Abiodun Akinusi. You're welcome. The registrars, Africa Prudential PLC, represented by Mrs. Catherine Mosu. The board evaluation consultants, Deloitte and Touche, represented by Mrs. Ibuku Beecroft. Thank you. The Statutory Audit Committee, comprising of the following members: Mr. Feyi Ogoji, Mr. Matthew Esenajo, Mr. Alex Adio, and of course, our two board members, Honorary Duke and Angela Neke. Members, as you know, your bank, United Bank for Africa PLC, is celebrating its 75th anniversary, which coincides with our 62nd annual general meeting. This significant milestone provides us with a perfect opportunity to honor several of our past directors. A few of these esteemed individuals are present with us today. Their invaluable contributions have been instrumental in the success and growth of United Bank for Africa PLC. It is therefore my distinct honor to specially recognize each of them present. In no particular order, I'd like to recognize the following past directors. First, Chair. First, my chair.
Hello. Hello.
First, Mr. Kayode Shofola. I have to introduce my chair again because at Major, this man still looks very young, really helped to make sure that today's UBA survived the difficult challenges of a major. Thank you so much, sir. We are happy to have you with us, sir. He was the chairman of the board of UBA from 2003 to 2007. Mr. Godwin Ize Iyamu, ala GII. He was Group Executive Director UBA from 2004 to 2010. Thank you for everything. Mrs. Faith Twedo Matthew. Faith was our Deputy Managing Director, first actually, Deputy Managing Director UBA from 2005 to 2011, but before then, she was Executive Director Standard Trust Bank from God knows when. Next is Alhaji Gaba Shitu Ruma, who is standing. Alhaji Ruma. Alhaji Ruma. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. He was non-executive director from Standard Trust Bank, and then back UBA 2007 to 2010. We have Chief Kola Jamodu, the veteran corporate man. He was executive director from 2007 to 2019. 12 solid years. And our very dear Mrs. Foluke Abrazak, Director UBA from 2008 to 2020, 12 solid years. Alhaji Paki here. Ah, good. And Alhaji Jafar Paki. Your Highness. From 2008 to 2018. Please, why do you have empty seats in front? Alhaji Paki, please, can you come up? Ledruma, can you come up to front? We should, Mr. Abdul Rashid, I think I'm the only one that calls him Abdul Rashid Olaoluwa. Where is he? Abdul Rashid, Group Executive Director, 2008 to 2012. Rashid was extremely instrumental to today's UBA Africa. Many licenses were gotten under Abdul Rashid Olaoluwa. Ambassador Joe C. Keshi, OON. Another long veteran on the board from 2010 to 2012 and was one-time chairman also of UBA board. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Dan Okeke. Where is he? He hasn't come. No. Dan Okeke, one of the, in fact, the longest serving executive director in UBA. And then Chukuma Nweke. I thought you were the one in this, but Chukuma Nweke, executive director, UBA Operations and Technology for a long time. You're welcome. People built today's foundation. Apollos is not here. Apollos is not here. Not yet, okay. Mr. Ayo Liade. Okay, you know his name is Ayo, I call him Ayo, so I just pronounce it Ayo Liade. Ayo was still a UBA man, white shirt, blue suit, and red tie. Ayo Liade was our deputy managing director for quite some years also at UBA. Ayo, we're happy to have you too. Dan Okeke, we have just introduced you. Can you come to the front and take a bow? Stand up, I will just introduce. Stand up. So Dan Okeke, ex-ED, and the longest serving executive board, executive director. Dan, you're welcome. And the man I called Malam, I think I'm the only one I call him, Malam Ibrahim Puri. Where is Malam Puri? Another popular AD. Then Chugon Dubisi is in and out. Chugon Dubisi. On behalf of the shareholders of UBA, the board, and the entire staff, I want to say thank you to all of you. UBA is standing today and what it is today because of your sacrifice, your dedication, your commitment, and the goodwill you continue to extend to UBA. We indeed appreciate all of you. Thank you very, very much. I'm very pleased, distinguished shareholders, to welcome and recognize all our shareholders and proxies to this meeting. Thank you for all your support during the year and for being there, and also for being present today. Please, shareholders, note that the AGM is being streamed live and globally viewed. I now call on our Company Secretary to read the notice convening the 62nd Annual General Meeting of United Bank for Africa, PLC.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, distinguished shareholders. directors, and our past directors, very pleased to see you. I will now proceed to read the notice. Notice of Annual General Meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 62nd Annual General Meeting of United Bank for Africa PLC, the company, will hold on Friday, May 24th, 2024 at Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja by 10 a.m. to transact the following business. Ordinary business. 1. To receive the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2023, together with the reports of the directors, auditors, and the audit committee thereon. 2. To declare a final dividend. 3. To re-elect the following directors retiring by rotation. 1. Mrs. Caroline Ayawu. 2. Ms. Aisha Hassan Baba, OON. And 3. Erelu Angela Adebayo. 4. To authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors for the 2024 financial year. 5. To disclose the remuneration of managers of the bank. 6. To elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. Special business. 7. That the remuneration of the directors of the company for the year ending December 31st, 2024 be and is hereby fixed at 50 million naira only for each director and 75 million naira for the board chairman. 8. That the issued share capital of the company be and is hereby increased from 17,099,710,683 naira only, divided into 34,199,421,366 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, to 22,500,000,000 naira, by the creation of 10,800,578,634 new ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, ranking pari passu with the existing ordinary shares of the company, and that the board be authorized to take the necessary steps, if deemed appropriate, to cancel any unallotted shares of the company or to further increase the share capital of the company to an amount sufficient to accommodate any transaction undertaken by the company to raise additional equity capital. 9. That the board of directors be and is hereby authorized to raise additional capital through the issuance of securities comprising ordinary shares, preference shares, convertible and or non-convertible notes, bonds, or any instruments in the Nigerian and or international capital markets, either as a standalone issue or by the establishment of a capital raising program, whether by way of public offerings, private placements, right issues, and or other transaction modes at prices, coupon, or interest rates determined through book building or any other acceptable valuation method or combination of methods in such tranches, series, or proportions with such maturity periods and at such dates and upon such terms and conditions as may be determined by the board of directors of the company, subject to obtaining the requisite approvals of the relevant regulatory authorities. 10. That the capital raise referred to in Resolution 9 above be underwritten on such terms as may be determined by the board of directors of the company, subject to the approval of the relevant regulatory authorities. 11. That any shares not taken by existing shareholders within the period stipulated under the rights issues may be offered for sale to other interested shareholders of the company on such terms and conditions as may be determined by the board, subject to the approvals of the relevant regulatory authorities. 12. That pursuant to the above resolutions, that Clause 6 of the memorandum and Article 10 of the Articles of Association of the company be and is hereby amended to read as follows. The share capital of the company is 22,500,000,000 naira divided into 45 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each. 13, that the directors be and are hereby authorized to appoint such professional parties and advisors and perform all such acts and do all such things as may be necessary to give effect to the above resolutions, including without limitation complying with the directives of any relevant regulatory authority. 14, that in compliance with the rule of the Nigerian Exchange Limited governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, the company and its related entities, the group, be and are hereby granted a general mandate in respect of all recurrent transactions entered with a related party or interested persons, provided such transactions are of a revenue or trading nature or are necessary for the company's day-to-day operations. This mandate shall commence on the date on which this resolution is passed and shall continue to operate until the date on which the next annual general meeting of the company is held. Chairman, subsequently at the notes of the meeting, there's the note on proxy. Yes, it's going to be taken out as I'm just highlighting them. The note on proxy, the note on live streaming of the AGM, the note on dividend payment, the note on the closure of register of members, the note on the profiles of the directors for re-election, questions from shareholders, the no voting by interested parties, the unclaimed dividend warrants and share certificates, and on the audit committee. Dated this 15th day of April 2024 by the order of the board, Billy A. Odum, Group Company Secretary, 57 Marina, Lagos. Thank you.
Distinguished shareholders, it is now time for me to read the chairman's statement. Taken as read? All right, thank you for waiving the reading of chairman's statement, and thank you also for considering it as read. Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, thanks for that courtesy. I, however, wish to refer to a few pertinent points in the chairman's statement. First, your bank delivered another very strong year, generating gross revenue of 1.78 trillion naira and profit after tax of 609.7 billion naira. We successfully sustained our deposit mobilization efforts, growing total deposit of your bank by 95% from about 9 billion to 9 trillion to 18 trillion, but a doubling of it in the corresponding year. Additionally, the loan book expanded by 74% from 3.4 trillion to about 6 trillion. So if I were to digress, your bank has the capacity to even do far more in terms of profitability. Because if you look at the deposit volume, 18 trillion, how you make money as a bank is through loan creation to a large extent. A loan portfolio of 6 trillion, a deposit of 18. So you can even move loan from 6 to 10 to 15. And you know what, that if 6 trillion is producing this level of profit, you can imagine that. But your bank remains a conservative bank, a conservative lending institution. Leveraging our Africa footprint, and that point I want to share with you. In a historic partnership with the Africa Continental Free Trade area, Secretariat. Your bank pledged up to $6 billion in financing our small and medium-scale enterprises across Africa over the next 3 years. This is to empower this strong engine of growth for Africa. This game-changing investment targets 4 key sectors crucial for reducing import dependence and fostering intra-Africa trade. One of the sectors is agro-processing, automotive sector, pharmaceuticals, and transport and logistics. We believe that these sectors are very critical and pivotal for the transformation of our continent and creating economic prosperity. Our commitment goes beyond just providing financial support. We understand the need to de-risk these sectors and equip small and medium-scale enterprises with the necessary skills and expertise to thrive. In addition, technology we recognize will play a crucial role in providing customers access to propositions created to deliver on our strategy. Your bank continues to invest in our youth. We believe that the future of our continent lies in the hands of our young ones. And in demonstration of that, in the past 12 months, UBA has graduated from the UBA Academy in 2 phases, last 12 months, in 2 phases. 700 phase 1 and 400, altogether 1,100 young Africans have been employed by UBA and trained. These UBA young professionals went through the UBA Academy Graduate Management Accelerated Program and have now been equipped to do well and help UBA to succeed, but more importantly, preparing them for the future and helping them to enjoy the kind of career progression that some of us had when we were growing in that sector. So, so this is very, very important achievement by UBA and more for our young ones, because we believe that youth unemployment and joblessness is a betrayal of a generation. Your bank received 9 prestigious awards at the Bankers Awards in 2023. These awards organized by the Bankers Magazine, a publication of the Financial Times of London, the world-leading business newspaper. The bank won the Bank of the Year Africa 2023 award. So clap for GMB and this people. This reaffirms our position as a leading financial institution on the African continent. Your bank subsidiaries also emerged as the Bank of the Year in 8 of the 20 countries we operate in Africa. The winners are UBA Cameroon, UBA Chad, UBA Ghana, UBA Côte d'Ivoire, UBA Mozambique, UBA Congo, UBA Sierra Leone, and UBA Tanzania. This feat underscores your bank's dominance and impact across diverse African markets. Portuguese, Francophone, Anglophone, your bank is totally and well represented. It is noteworthy that this is the second time in the past 3 years your bank is winning regional award as the best bank in Africa, the second being in 2021. Or the first. I'm also pleased to share with our shareholders, since we are marking our 75th anniversary and recognizing everyone who has been part of this journey. There are some who are still in UBA today that are doing great things. On that note, I'm pleased to share with shareholders that our Chief Credit Officer, Mr. Joel Owade. Joel, is he here? He's here. Mr. Joel, remain standing. Joel Owade emerged as the chairman yesterday, as the chairman of the board of directors of CRC Credit Bureau Limited. CRC Credit Bureau Limited is a credit reference company. And it's on record that your bank, UBA PLC, actually pioneered the establishment of CRC Credit Bureau Limited and was the first chair of his board. Chika Mode was the first founding chair of CRC. At some point, Ms. Angela Neke was also the chair of the board. And this appointment yesterday, election yesterday, is our third opportunity to provide leadership for CRC. So, Joel, congratulations. This Credit Bureau Limited is owned by 10 leading Nigerian banks and D&B, which is a rating agency. And your bank owns 10% of this institution. So we're proud to be part of CRC, and we're proud that Joel is providing leadership. This underscores our commitment to developing and improving risk management practices in our industry. And finally, a word of gratitude. I start with our management and staff. I want to express my deepest appreciation to the tireless efforts of our management and staff. Your commitment to exemplary service and dedication ensures that we deliver shared value with every interaction. Thank you very much. To our impeccable boards, both group and subsidiaries boards. You know your bank all over, 20 in Africa, London, UK, America, rep office in Paris, and now UAE. So to our boards, both at the group and subsidiary level, I extend my gratitude for your insightful counsel and unwavering leadership. Thank you very much. Your integrity and devotion have proven invaluable to our continued success. To our loyal customers, you are the very reason we exist. To our loyal customers, you are the very reason we exist. We are eternally grateful for your trust and continued patronage. It is the drive to exceed your needs that guide our every step, and your satisfaction fuels our drive for innovation and excellence. And finally, but not the least, to our discerning shareholders, investors, you have placed your faith in our vision. We thank you for your continued support. Your belief in UBA motivates us to excel and deliver long-term value for everyone involved. So thank you to all these critical stakeholders. And to our regulators who can't forget you. We appreciate your continued guidance and clarity on compliance and governance, and we remain committed to upholding the highest ethical standards. Thank you. Fellow shareholders, I wish each and every one of us the very best for the rest of the year 2024. Thank you. I will now proceed to ask a representative of Isana Auditor Ernst & Young, Mr. Abiodo Akinus, to summarily present the auditor's report to the shareholders, please.
A very good morning, Mr. Chairman, distinguished shareholders of UBA. The auditor's report is as presented on pages 82 to page 90 of the annual report. With the permission of the shareholders, through the chairman, if you don't mind, I'd like to summarize the report. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Independent Auditor's Report to the members of United Bank for Africa PLC. Our report on the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements. Our opinion. We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statements of United Bank for Africa PLC, the bank, and its subsidiaries, together the group, which comprise the consolidated and separate statements of financial position as at 31 December 2023, and the consolidated and separate statements of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statements of changes in equity, and the consolidated and separate statements of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the consolidated and separate financial statements, including material accounting policy information. In our opinion, the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of the group and the bank as at 31 December 2023, and its consolidated and separate financial performance and consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards, the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020, Central Bank of Nigeria, and in compliance with the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Amendment Act 2023. We also have other sections that speak to the basis for opinion, key audit matters, other information, the responsibilities of the directors for the consolidated and separate financial statements. And on page 88 and 89, we have the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the consolidated and separate financial statements. I would therefore like to move to page 89 or on the annual report that has our report on other legal and regulatory requirements on page 89. In accordance with the requirements of the 5th schedule of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we confirm that, 1, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. 2, in our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the group and bank insofar as it appears from our examination of those books. 3, the consolidated and separate statements of financial position and the consolidated and separate statements of comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. And in our opinion, The consolidated and separate financial statements have been prepared in accordance with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, so as to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and financial performance of the bank and its subsidiaries. On page 90, in accordance with the requirements of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, guidance on assurance engagement reports on internal control over financial reporting. We performed a limited assurance engagement and reported on management's assessment of the bank's internal control over their financial reporting as of December 31, 2023. The work performed was done in accordance with the international standard for assurance engagements other than audits or reviews of historical financial information, and the FRC guidance on assurance engagement reports on internal control over financial reporting, and we have issued an unmodified conclusion in our report dated 8 April 2024. And finally, in compliance with the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020 and circulars issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria, 1. The information required by the Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD/1/2004 on insider-related credits is disclosed in Note 44 to the consolidated and separate financial statements. And finally, as disclosed in Note 48 to the consolidated and separate financial statements, the bank did not incur any penalty from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Signed, myself, for Ernst & Young, 8 April 2024. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, shareholders.
Thank you. Jim, the shareholders have just clapped for you and your team for 0 regulatory infractions. For a huge bank like this in the year, that is commendable. Well done. Keep it up. I will now call on the chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, Mr. Feyi Ogoji, to summarily present the Audit Committee's report on behalf of the committee.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished shareholders, I present the Statutory Audit Committee report for the year ended 31st December 2023. In accordance with the provision of Section 404 or Section 7 of the Committee...
I'm not sure shareholders at the back will hear you. Please, can you guys do something about the public address system?
Yeah, we're on page 69, please. In accordance with the provision of Section 404 or Section 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act of the Federation of Nigeria 2020, we members of the of the Audit Committee hereby report as follows. We confirm that we have seen the audit plan and scope and management letter of the audit of the bank, UBA Group, consolidated and separate financial statement for the year ended 31 December 2023, and the responses to the said letter. In our opinion, the plan and scope of the audit for the year ended 31st December 2023 were adequate. We have reviewed the auditor's findings and we are satisfied with management responses thereon. We also confirm the accounting and reporting policies of the bank are in accordance with legal requirements and ethical practices. As required by the provisions of the Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD/1/2004, dated February 18, 2004, on disclosure of insider-related credits, in financial statements. We reviewed the insider-related credits of the bank and found them to be as analyzed in the consolidated and separate financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2023, signed Feyi Ogoji, dated 28 March 2024. Chairman, Statutory Audit Committee. Members of the Audit Committee are Barrister Matthew Esonanjo, shareholder, Mr. Alex Adio, shareholder, Ms. Angela Aneke, Independent Non-Executive Director, Mrs. Onari Duke, Independent Non-Executive Director, and my humble self, Feyi Ogoji, Chairman, shareholder. Thank you very much.
Well done, well done, well done. Distinguished shareholders, may I request that you kindly refer to page 72 of the annual report for a report of the external consultants, Deloitte and Touche, on the board performance evaluation of your bank. May I also request that you kindly refer to page 73 of the annual report for the corporate governance review report of your bank by the external consultants, Deloitte and Touche. Distinguished shareholders, pursuant to Section 248 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, I hereby direct that a poll be taken on all resolutions for consideration at this meeting, except the resolution for the election of members of the Statutory Audit Committee, which shall be by show of hands. Proxy forms duly submitted to the registrars prior to this meeting, which have been collated by the registrars, indicate that some shareholders have already voted. I therefore request the registrars to oversee the voting for the shareholders present and share the entire voting results on the resolutions upon their introduction for consideration. Finally, 12 ordinary resolutions and 1 special resolution are being considered at this meeting. 51% or a simple majority of the total votes will be required to pass each of the ordinary resolutions. 75% of the total votes will be required to pass the special resolution. I will now call on the registrars to briefly explain the procedure for voting to our esteemed shareholders. Registrar, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, esteemed directors, regulatory bodies, and distinguished shareholders. I will now proceed to explain the procedure for casting your votes. Prior to this meeting, we received 448 proxies with a total of 18,439,941,184 units of shares, representing 53.92% of the issued share capital of UBA PLC. At this meeting, we'll be collating the total votes of shareholders voting using the online access and devices, in addition to the proxies already received, to arrive at the final voting result. For shareholders voting online. For shareholders who will be voting using the links, access codes have been sent to you via email or SMS to enable you to exercise your voting rights. Please follow these steps to cast your votes and ensure your devices are internet enabled before the voting session commences. Step 1, kindly click on the voting link if you are yet to do so and input your unique token as seen in the message received. Step 2, click continue and wait for the prompt to cast your votes. Step 3, as soon as the voting commences, the resolution under consideration will be displayed on your screen. Kindly cast your vote using the options either for if you are in favor of the resolution or against if you are voting against the resolution. The voting will be open for 60 seconds. You have the flexibility to change your vote within the 60 seconds window by simply selecting the alternative option. Once the voting period ends, your last selected voting option will be registered as your final vote. For shareholders who will be voting using the keypads, kindly activate your keypads by pressing any key on the device. You will need only 2 keys for this exercise, either 1 or 2. As soon as the voting commences, the resolution under consideration will be displayed on your voting device. Please press 1 to vote if you are in favor of the resolution, or press 2 to vote against the resolution. If you press any other key, it will be assumed that you have abstained from voting. The voting will be for 60 seconds. You also have the flexibility to change your vote within the 60 seconds window by simply selecting the alternative option. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Distinguished shareholders, the next item is to receive the director's report and balance sheet as at December 31, 2023, together with the profit and loss account for the year ended on that date. I hereby move that the director's report and balance sheet as at December 31, 2023, together with the profit and loss account for the year ended on that day submitted to the meeting be received and adopted. Will someone please second this motion? Chief Pastor Akpore.
Bishop. Good luck, Akpore. I support that great motion.
Thank you. I'm now pleased to open the floor for questions from our esteemed shareholders on the director's reports and accounts. You may indicate your interest in asking a question by raising your hand, and I'll call upon you. Please state your name clearly and endeavor to be brief. I urge everyone, please, who will be asking questions, not to repeat what has been said before. And kindly endeavor to keep your questions and remarks very short, like 1-2 minutes max, to give others the opportunity to also ask questions. If members agree, maybe we'll start from this side, then we'll come to this side, so it's more organized, okay? I see a lot of veterans here today. Good to see all of you. Okay, let's start. Our lady number 1, Red Cap Chief number 2, Muta number 3, number 4. Okay, 4. Okay, Madam 5. So we have 5 on this side. Then we'll go to this side. No, we'll come to. Let's finish this side. So go ahead, 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, other board members, the regulatory authorities, my fellow distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Barrister Detutu Shinyombola. I'm the president of Highly Favored Shareholders Association. Mr. Chairman, I have some observations, comments, questions, and suggestions on United Bank for Africa PLC 2023 annual report and accounts. With your kind permission, I'll quickly run through them. When I marry the financial summary on page 8 with results at a glance, limiting myself to the group performance on page 50, item 1, I observed that we have an excellent performance in the year under review. I want to seize this opportunity to give kudos to the board and management team for a job well done and implore them to do more. On page 11, the group photograph of the board of directors. Observe that we have 7 ladies in the board of 14 directors, which amounts to 50%. This is commendable. Please keep it up.
We are oppressed.
From page 16 to 18, the beautiful faces and the profile of the executive management team. Observe that we have only 2 ladies in the executive management team of 6 members, which amounts to 33%. This is unacceptable on gender balancing. Please, we have to improve on it going forward. From page 19 to 27, the beautiful faces and the profile of the management team. Observe that we have only 7 ladies in the management team of 24 members, which amounts to 29%. This is unacceptable on gender balancing as well. We have to improve on it going forward. On page 33, awards in chairman's statements. I observe that our bank have 9 prestigious awards to accredit in the year under review. I also observe that our subsidiaries emerge as the Bank of the Year in 8 out of the 20 countries we operate from in the year under review. This is highly commendable. Please keep it up. On page 51, item 6, directors' interest. I observe that 11 directors out of 15 listed have our shares attached to their names directly or indirectly in the year under review. This is commendable as well. Please keep it up. On page 52, item 8, substantial interest in shares. Observe that we have a major shareholder with the minority shareholders in our company in the year under review. I would like to know who is representing the minority shareholders in our board. On page 65 and 66, attendance at board meetings and board committee meetings is good, but can be better. We need to improve on our attendance going forward. On page 53, consolidated and separate statement of financial position. Permit me to limit myself to group position. Loans and advancements to customers under assets went up from 3.1 trillion naira to 5.2 trillion naira in the year under review. What are the modalities in place to collect this debt from our customers to the BRS minimum so that it will not end up as bad loan that will be written off? Borrowings under liabilities also went up from 535.7 billion naira to 858.7 billion naira in the year under review. How do we intend to pay this debt to our creditors? Lastly, I observe that we have utilized this annual report judiciously to showcase our subsidiaries and advertise all our products. This is commendable as well. Please keep it up. Thanks and God bless you for this opportunity, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Please, before you sit, let me ask you a question. When you talk about board government attendance and meetings, you said it's good but can be improved on. Do you have any, did any absence there? The board.
What I'm basing it on is 100% attendance. There are some, that's why I said we need to improve on it. There are some absentees here and there.
Okay. No, anyway, well, I can just deal with this immediately.
All right.
As you may know, one of our executive directors was recognized by the president and appointed a deputy governor of Central Bank. So with that appointment, she stopped. But we're looking at the year. So she was appointed last year. So she did not attend. She stopped being a member of the board. That's simple. So that's why there's asterisk says. That explains why.
Yeah, but there is another. Okay, Mr. Chairman, it's okay.
No, but it's good. Your governor, your bank upholds high ethical standards. So it's good that she raised, and let's explain it. Which one is that? Okay, the other is Risk Management Committee, not the board committee. So it's okay. All right, next, we'll respond to your other questions when we are responding.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Patrick Ajudo. I want to welcome all the directors here and those online, my fellow shareholders, the regulator, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, I sit on all the existing protocol, and to thank you very well for the sterling quality leadership that you have been giving not only to UBA, but the entire AS Group, Nigeria and beyond Nigeria. You are a true son of Africa and a respected personality worldwide. Mr. Chairman, I want to commend the exceptional financial performance of the bank, which saw gross earnings grew by over 143% to 2 trillion. This achievement marks the bank's highest gross earning on record and rank one of the best in the banking sector so far in 2023. It is a testament to the robust financial and sound strategic decision. On page 7, Mr. Chairman, I want to commend the bank for the fact that UBA in its 75 years have remained one of the best banks in Africa. Please let's give a round of applause to them. With the highest distribution network, it has over 1,000 branches, 30 million customers in retail, commercial, and corporate market segments, with presence in 24 countries, 2,676 ATM, 303,000 POS machines, the best machine so far in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, on page 41, it's on the risk management. With the benchmark interest rate of CBN at an all-time high of 26.25%, banks are beginning to see an upward movement in their non-performing loan, as can be seen on page 8, where we have our NPL rose from 3.1 to 5.8%, hence leading us to a high provisioning in our NPL, which on page 92 you'll see the impairment provision on credit losses grew from 19 billion to over 144 billion. Hence, my question to you is, how do you hope to minimize the impacts of the NPL risk, strengthen our enterprise risk management framework, and sustain our level of profitability? On page 50, Mr. Chairman, is the dividend. We want to appreciate you. We want to thank you. Because that is the bank, that is why we are here. No longer one kobo or kobo dividend. Let's give a round of applause to UBA. They are now giving us 2 naira 80 kobo. And from what the chairman has said as an expo, they are ready to double this amount in 2024. So, Chairman, you have a very good registrar, and we are not surprised that immediately after this meeting, we are going to receive our alert. We thank you for bringing to us Mrs. Mosu, who is giving us the best from African Prudential PLC. Mr. Chairman, I will be asking you that the moment we are is on recapitalization. And now my question is, what are the plans put in place to ensure a successful recapitalization of the bank? Are we considering acquisition as an option, particularly if it will add value to the bank? I'm a little bit worried on page 56, which last year I also mentioned it. It's all about the customer complaint resolution mechanism. This is industry-wide problem, but it's of concern to us that we still have an unresolved complaint pending of over 643,759 as against 5,375. It's of concern to us, but we'll be looking forward to know what Mr. Oliver and his team will be putting in place to remedy it. Finally, Mr. Chairman, I will quickly also take you to page 57, which is the next page, and it's also dealt with an industry problem, which has to do with fraud and forgeries. Mr. Chairman, we've seen the increase in fraud and forgeries, particularly electronic fraud. If you check that page, it increased to about 55,336 with a value of 6.6 billion. And out of this amount, over 95% is on electronic fraud. So what are we doing to improve on this, strengthen our electronic and IT issue, and make sure that we reduce these fraudulent activities? I want to commend you, and I want to thank you, and I ask God to continue to bless you, the board and management. Thank you, and God bless.
Number 3.
Our most respected chairman, Tony Elumelu, board and management of our great bank, regulators present, our hardworking audit committee, fellow shareholders, good morning. My name is Alaji Otumba Mukhtar, chairman of the Trusted Shareholders Association of Nigeria. Tony, because I know from the narrations of some of your older staff, they have told us that you want somebody to be confident to make. If you ask, who am I? You say, you are Tony Elumelu. You know, all these things were, that's why I chose to mention your name, because I know you want people, your staff, to be confident when you are in the bank, when you are running the bank, because confidence is all you want in people. Mr. Chairman, I feel so happy because in your part of your enshrined values is to carry along all those that you have known, those that you have worked with, and to be with them, and you never forget them. I'm very happy that you invited these our distinguished directors, former directors, to be part of us today. This is very, very commendable. Kayode Sofola, do you remember my face? 2004-05 during the merger with Standard Trust Bank. I miss your contact, but I'm very happy that through the instrumentality of Tony's set values, I'm meeting you again today. You are welcome, sir. I'm happy that you are in good health. Well, Tony, everybody knows there is no way we will come to a UBA meeting without, saying things about you, as other speakers have said. Of course, you are a well-known commodity, not only in Nigeria, in Africa, but all the global financial institutions have known you so much. And they know the, set values that you abide by. Those values of hard work, commitment, resilience, financial conservatism, compliance. All these are set values, value creation, and the rest. So there is no way we'll come to any meeting without talking of these values, which you have passed on to successive managements of this great institution when you founded the new United Bank for Africa. That was in 2006-07. So we are very grateful to God for your life and for the good health you have always, enjoyed. And we pray to the Almighty to continue to give you long life and good health. Because we feel happy seeing you every year. We feel happy at any occasion we see you, we feel happy. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm very, very happy for the excellent performance that the management of this great bank has, recorded over the year under review. This is in spite of all the pushbacks in the Nigerian economy, the macroeconomic problems, the high cost of doing businesses in Nigeria, the inflationary trends, and all what you have. But they are still able, Mr. Chairman, to give us a profit before tax of 757.7 billion naira. 757 billion naira, surpassing the budgets of so many states in Nigeria. Of course, 757.7 billion naira. This figure, I love this figure, Chairman. Oliver, you and the DMD, Mr. Akinyemi, and all the other executive directors, please, thank you very much for this wonderful performance. Again, Mr. Chairman, they also maintained a well-structured and diversified balance sheet, with total assets grew to 20.65 trillion naira. A few years ago, we were talking of, reaching the 1 trillion naira benchmark for in our assets. But as of today, it's 20.65 trillion naira in assets. I think this is very, very commendable. And it shows that, yes, at UBA, nobody is sleeping. Thank you very, very much for this beautiful result. Of course, again, the shareholders' fund also grew to 2.03 trillion naira. These figures, I enjoy them more. Tony, they are beautiful figures. Because, money is good. So, myself, on behalf of all the shareholders, I really commend the board and management for this beautiful performance. Mr. Chairman, presently I'm having headache. Yeah, you know why? Because when we stepped into Abuja yesterday, myself, Hamza, and we came to Transcorp whether we can get a room to pay for. They said the hotel is fully booked. We went to the CEO to see whether there is anything that can be done. We couldn't. So I resigned to a hotel. But I tell you, yesterday, 2 a.m. armed robbers invaded that hotel. Believe me, they invaded the hotel, they wounded a lot of people. I was very lucky that when I had some, banks on the doors, all the neighboring rooms, they have been robbed. So I quickly switched off my television, switched off the light in the toilet, and I came to the side of the bed and I hid. Yes, because they are very merciless. They wounded a lot of people in the hospital now. So you see, this is a shocking reflection of the sacrifices we are making to come and be part of the celebrations of this bank. And the hotel has two blocks of building, but they invaded the whole hotels. And there is an area command of police in the area, but nobody came. They left out to the armed robbers, So that is why, Mr. Chairman, I slept for only 30 minutes last night. Only 30 minutes. But I was lucky that they didn't touch me. But all my neighbors, they were ransacked. And some of them are presently in the hospital as I speak with you. So, Mr. Chairman, we are always, whatever comes to us, we have no regrets for coming to support the beautiful works that the board and management have been doing at UBA. I commend you so much for this. Finally, Mr. Chairman, yes, of course, we would like to talk about individuals on the board, but you see, because of the time. But as you said, honestly speaking, we feel happy with Billy Odum's remarkable, commitment. No, honestly speaking, you see, we are very, very happy because he's someone that understands the job. And round the clock, anytime you want to reach him, if he is very busy, he will instruct one of his staff to talk to you. I think this is very, very commendable. Billy, well done for... So finally, Mr. Chairman, because this headache is growing bigger, what are the outlook for 2000? The future outlook for 2024 and beyond? And have you been able? What is the first quarter result for, so that we can know how our bank has performed in the first quarter? Thank you very much. May God bless you all.
Number 4.
The chair. The name is Comrade Ibru de Moses. the National Coordinator of Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria. And I'm very happy to be part and parcel of this meeting. And I'm going to speak. I'm here to deliver a message to you. I'm not going to talk much, but to you particularly. There is a book known as Unto Thee I Grant. In that particular section of the book, I want to read it. It says, the man to whom God has given riches. Take note. The man to whom God has given riches and blessed with a mind to employ them aright. So there are two people, or set of people. They are blessed with riches. They are not blessed with a mind to use those riches aright. It says, such man that is blessed with riches and blessed with the mind to use it aright is peculiarly favored and highly distinguished. That is exactly what you are. You are the only person who decides when the CBN came on board and said no bank should do other business and UBA have other business. What did you do? You split everything and you unbundle everything and you put all of them into a PSC and quoted them. Nobody have done that. In short, clap for this man. And the message is this. Such men are very few. The men that God give this to blessing, they are very few. And because they have given you that blessing, the mandate is that you must deliver Nigeria. It is not because, the reason I'm telling you, God have given you, He have blessed you. And whoever that God have blessed will be empowered to do it. You have done, you see, whenever I come to any of this UBA group, you see people, young people who will go. They will walk with you, they will go, they will come back, they will go. Look at Chris here. You see, a lot. I don't want to mention chair of all chair. You are the odd chair, but there's somebody there that is behind. It's here. Who, whenever you see people like that, you say something is happening there. And you just mentioned that from the UBA Academy, you are bringing what? Young people on board. That is how to build a generation. That is how to build a country. Please, my prayer is that God will continue to preserve your life, give you the wisdom, give you the enablement to build men of goodwill as you are, and women of goodwill. You have done it. God will continue to empower you. I'm not going to talk about that. That is my message. The message is that, one, you are mandated to co-join with the few people that are blessed like that to deliver Nigeria. Nigeria is in your hand. You are in power sector. You are in money sector. Anywhere. And anywhere you are going to touch, God will bless it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the members of the board, the distinguished shareholder, and those watching online. Please permit me to sit. I'm having challenges. My name is Mrs. E.O. Obidei, the National Coordinator of Act of God Shareholder Association. Sir, let me first give my recommendation to the members of the board, the important people in the board, the people that work for 366 days and give us a good result. Let's give them a standing ovation to appreciate them.
No need. We appreciate it, but let's not. Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir. Sir, I was told from my area to deliver this. There are many new sites. Now they are been developing. Imota, we don't have UBA there. Along Ijebode, from Imota to Ijebode, there is no branch UBA. Sir, I will urge the board that they should look into this. There are some other sites that we need this bank. When I was growing, our parents recognized three banks that are very important. Your own, another two. Union Bank, First Bank, and UBA. Those are the three banks people recognize that day, and you are one of them. So let us, since you have branch in Babcock, I think, and you have in Ajayi Krada, I think we should have in other news sites. I want you to look into that, sir. Sir, I've appreciate the management on many things they've done, the treasury bill and the bond. Thank you for that. In our African country, we have banks, but there are some area in Togo that we still need you to have a branch. Let the marketing area look into that so that we can enjoy the benefits of UBA. In the system, there was an interview I saw in social media. A 7-year-old boy got into a laptop by his EFCC, and the boy understand everything. And the man said, "What is your problem?" He said, how the parents would take care of them. So the man took the boy and said he will pay for the school fees. And the junior one is looking for people. So what are we putting in place so that all these things will not happen to UBA? This social media has created a lot of things for children.
Okay.
Our children, what I don't know, they know more than us.
Okay.
So what are we doing to secure that area so that...
Cyber security, we'll address it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Next, please. I think that's the end. So,
Mr. Chairman, Board of Directors here present, my colleague, shareholders, regulatory authorities. My name is Kabiru Abdullahi Tambari, one of the shareholders from Sokoto State. Mr. Chairman, I want to start commending you. You know, we shareholders, no matter how it is, if we see the right thing, we have to say it out. I want to congratulate you for a wonderful hand that God bless you. One started with your wonderful mother, who is our mother that born you, and we're still enjoying her 9-month pregnant, she delivered to this wonderful world, not only in Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, I will just take little words so that I can allow some other people to speak. Mr. Chairman, I want to start with the share capital. The share price, sorry. Our share price as at May 2023 is gambling 8 naira 40 kobo. But as at January 16, shares of UBA touch 34 naira. So we have to appreciate the wonderful result that the market react. The moment the company is doing great, market will react. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, since my colleague mentioned the the CBN issue concerning the subsidiaries, I will just go direct for the dividend we are going to reap and the one we already collect. One, I will start with United Capital, have paid dividend. Africa Prudential have paid dividend. April Properties have paid dividend. UBA today, God willing, will pay final dividend of 2 naira 80 kobo, which is 2 naira 30 kobo we are going to receive today. And Transcorp, God willing, on Monday 27, will pay dividend. Transcorp Power have paid dividend. Transcorp Hotel have paid dividend. Mr. Chairman, we don't have anything to say unless to thank God for having somebody like you. And also, Mr. Chairman, I want to appreciate you for the kind gesture you are always showing to the shareholders. I watch you on Monday, and there physically, the moment you come for Transcorp Power, how the AGM wanted to stop, unless you take the excuse of the chairman, how shareholders welcoming you. So always shareholders showing love to you because you show love to us. I pray for you good health, long life, and prosperity. Thank you very much.
So distinguished shareholders, do we respond to this or take everything? Everything. Okay. Dr. Farouk, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 6. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, let me begin by thanking you for bringing 7 women on a board of 15 directors. This is the only bank that has 46.6%. The requirement by CBN is 30%, Mr. Chairman. Not only that, our registrar is female. The CEO of the Transcorp Hotel is female. Mr. Chairman, we thank you because we want to see women participating in the development of our economy. The second thing, Mr. Chairman, is next time when you call shareholders to raise their hands to speak, they should raise their UBA ATM card. Mr. Chairman, we must support our company. Not only should we buy shares, but we must now patronize our own company, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, somebody spoke about MPL. Our MPL is 5.8%. But that shareholder should realize that our loans and advances is 5.5 trillion. The more loans you give, it is more likely that the MPL will increase. If we compare you with other banks, our MPL is nothing to talk about. We are less than 10%, we are 5.8%. Mr. Chairman, I also want to say that I want to ask you a question. Now, we have inflation, Mr. Chairman. Now, our staff, what have you done, Mr. Chairman, to increase the salary and emolument of our staff? You have commended them, Mr. Chairman. So we want to make sure that they are well paid. Mr. Chairman, I also want to say that I'm happy with the caliber of directors we have. Look at the past directors. They are all men of integrity. If I look at Erelu, Mr. Chairman, she was with me on the board of NGX. I'm a director on the board of NGX. And Mr. Chairman, we have benefited a lot from her experience. And now, this is the caliber of people we have on this board. We are happy. That is why we are making this profit. I'm happy that they are for re-election, and we will ensure that they are re-elected. I will just end up by asking one or two questions. Chairman, CBN is continuously increasing the MPR. How is that going to affect our profitability? Because the more the interest rate is going up, the more problem we will have with people either taking our loan or being able to pay. And also, finally, Mr. Chairman, Naira is being devalued. And I'm a director on Merchant Bank. And I know we are having problems with people who have taken loan in Forex. How is that affecting the business of UBA? Finally, Chairman, we thank you for your leadership. One thing that we are proud of with you is anybody that has worked with you, today he is better off. You are always helping your people to grow, bringing them into positions, bringing them into boards, making them CEOs. This shows that, Mr. Chairman, you are somebody who cares about your staff, your management, and even we shareholders. Somebody is saying that we don't have a representation on your board. Mr. Chairman, we have three directors representing us. The audit committee members we have, they are three, only two from the board. They are our directors on your board. Thank you.
Number two.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. All protocol observed. My name is Peter Enyanuku. I'm former audit committee of UBA 2012. Having said that, the account is historical, but let's talk about our business first. Regard to the IT, we must improve in IT because a lot of things happen, especially if you are transitioning a business in the banking system. Before, we used to have some issue with bank that if you transfer your money to other bank, it didn't go, they'll refund your money immediately. But now it takes a lot of time, sometimes 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. I experienced one in my area at Ogudu, in Lagos. A lady came. He said that he made a transaction in pharmacies, that the money didn't enter, but she go to the bank so that they can reverse the money back. Getting to the bank, they said she come for 7 days. The woman tried to cry that his son is ill. What do you want to do? As a part of UBA, I must to call the woman on one side. Please, what do you want? He said he needs some more cash. I must to empower her to go and take care of his children so that our bank too won't be interrupted with anybody. Second one, about ATM machine. I used to travel well. I was in Ekiti-Pupa, going to Ekiti plantation. In that area, we have only one branch. And our machine is working seriously. We have about 300 people on queue. We have other banks, but they are not operating. It's only UBA Bank, 300 people. And we need more branch in that area. Please, we need more branch. Going to the annual report about the special resolution to raise the capital, we have interest. If the one director didn't have interest, let him bring the offer to me, I'll buy it. We shareholder too, we have interest. Let us send the right issue to each shareholder so that we can pick our right too. Having said that, going to the reading annual report too, that's page 93. Our assets is increased. We thank you for that. The third one is about the borrowing. Let's be servicing our borrowing. Let's be servicing it so that the loan will be going down. The next one is, many people talk about you, sir. They will emanate from you. Because few people emanate how you are doing. I didn't want to mention, one is the other side, one of your boys is the other side. Doing well, as you are doing too. Let the other two emanate good thing you are doing. Thank you, sir.
Chairman, members of the board of UBA, fellow shareholders. Chairman, recently we were in Bishop Conference outside Nigeria. And we saw the chairman with the president. I am Goodluck Akpore. So somebody was asking, where is that man from? You will not believe it. I rushed. I said, he's a Nigerian and he's from Delta State. I was very proud. And there in that place, we have over 200 and something bishops and archbishops in that conference. So, and he was with the president of America. They were talking. They said, who is that man? I rushed, I repeat. I rushed the statement. That man you are saying is from Nigeria and is from Delta State. So you have carried us high. Heaven will surely stand by you. I'm saying it as a man of God. You've carried this country high. The God that I serve will stand by you always. You are not going to fail. There is no way. Somebody was talking something somewhere. You know, that some managing directors of companies are going to do this, going to die. You can be sure, because you have the interest of Nigerians, you have the interest of people. Look at 1,000 something training kind of thing you are doing. And above all, you recall that when you were coming, before you came, the bank was struggling. From the very time you step here, come and see. UBA today is sterling. UBA today is wonderful. UBA today are risen. How can I not support you? Heaven itself is supporting you. And I know when I saw some of your directors today, I say, wonderful. This man, you will live long. And you have not started. Somebody talked about, I think I heard a person who was saying, Nigeria is in your hand. Don't you know? This country is solidly in your hand. You need to do things that will further progress, that will further make Nigeria more important in a global world. So the way I want to look at you, go back, sit, how am I going to do to increase the life of Nigerians? That is the stage it is gone. That is the stage you are getting to now. It's not a matter of giving loans and buying us. No. You have left that stage. You've gone very far. In the spirit realm, people yesterday night, I was looking at you. In the spirit realm, I'm a spiritual person, so I know what I'm talking. So take Please. You see, so what you have reached is greater than just being the chairman of a bank. Where you have reached. In the spirit realm, you have gone very far. So take Nigeria as, yes, a family. Take Nigeria as how do we do it to increase the suffering of the people. And so I greet you and I pray for you, and it shall be well with you and all your people. Now, finally, I want to draw somebody's attention. You recall that some times ago we drew the attention of Unorom. You can see that Unorom today is sterling. He's a wonderful person. I want to draw another person. Owens. Owens is going to be another decent person that you should take notice of. If he's here, okay. If he's not here, but I'm drawing attention, that lady is going to do fantastically well. May God bless us.
My respected chairman, Egban, Tony Onyebuchi Elumelu CFR. Onyebuchi. Onyemechi, I don't mind me. I am Sir Olatunde Okelana, the Balogbo Olugbo of Orile Egban in Oyo State, a Justice of Peace in Oyo State, and a PhD in view in criminology and security studies. I am the chairman, by the grace of God, I'm the chairman of Sir Olatunde Okelana Foundation, Incorporated Trustee. My chairman, UBA means stability, and I've gone a long way with UBA. Let me start like this, sir, with your permission. My first salary in Nigerian Army, I bought UBA shares at 1 naira 80 kobo when the salary was 200 naira. And I bought 100 units for 180 naira. And I was able to manage the remaining 20 naira because the economy was good then. That same year, sir, UBA gave me 2 for 1. So the share became 300. Whatever stability I have today started from UBA. I want to take you back to memory lane. I thank God for your life because you are a family man. Your mother is 95. I was in UBA AGM 1998 when I lost my mother at age of 55. My mother never made 60. Because I became 60 this year, I thank God for my life. And I thank God for you because you have a loving mother, you love your mother so well. And that makes me to always remember my mother too. And you are a family man. And I know most of the secrets. Number 1, on social media handle, I follow you everywhere. When you are doing yoga, I follow you on all the angles. Because when I see this man, what is the secret? There was one day, you will remember, you have an appointment in Marina. You have a go-slow. There is go-slow inside in Lagos. Traffic. You came down from that vehicle and you took a bike to where you are going. That's how this journey started. Tony, you are a blessing to Africa. I want to tell you that you made us shareholders of all the companies, like we said, like people have said. But at the same time, I don't want to repeat. Repetition is not necessary. But I want to appeal the conscience of the well-meaning Nigerians today, and I want everybody to listen. We should not economize on security of this country. I'm a security expert, and sociological aspect of crime should come to play. Nigerians has weaponized poverty, and that has increased crime. What is criminology? Criminology is a crime, it's a science of crime. When you go through sociological aspect of crime or psychological, the challenges people are having, and that makes them to commit crime. We now have criminal justice, which I did at my second degree. I discovered that what is criminal justice? The official response of the government to a crime being committed through police, through court, and correctional, 3 aspects. Now, the government are very good in the aspect of the criminal justice. At the same time, our criminal justice must be restructured in this country.
Our criminal justice system is a challenge. The crime of this country, when somebody is talking that we should have branches here and there, what about security of life and property of our staff? It's true I'm a military man, but at the same time, when I remember security, this country, let us not play with it. Cyber security is part of the aspect. I want you to take a second look on that, cyber security. It's just aspect of crime. And we have organized crime. These are organized crime. We have people they commit this crime for material wealth. That is different from terrorism. It's also a crime. High net worth crime. Nigeria as a country, we should have a rethink. What can we do to improve this country? Please clap for Tony Elumelu. I will tell you why. Our dividends this year is 3 naira 10 kobo, 260 and 50 kobo you gave us before. My dear chairman, the challenges of this country is so enormous. You can't do all. I want to tell you something today. You can never be good in politics. Where you are today is the best place you can assist all of us. Because if you are a politician, I might not like you, and you might not be straightforward. You were born March 22. That makes you Aries. Am I right? You are supposed to be stubborn by nature. And that keeps you going. And you are an introvert. When somebody offends you, you might not talk. When somebody offends you, we might not talk. But by the time you voice out, that person will know he has offended somebody. That is your nature. And you love loyalty, 100%. Whoever that is loyal to you, sky is just the beginning. And that is why the people you are bringing to this board, we are so happy to them. I want to say something this morning. My respected son, Kayode Sofola, during the struggle days, his office is the 3rd building to old Savannah Bank building. I see him more than 3-4 times, sometimes in a week, for the struggle. Please give a round of applause to Kayode Sofola. My dear chairman, to the memory lane, inside this hall, 1994, I was tired of sleeping in Nikon Hilton Hotel. The first poll election we had in this country is from UBA. UBA, the first poll. When we were coming, the chief Sunday Adewusi was a Ogbomoso man. I'm from Ogbomoso. I told him, chairman, something is going to happen today. You say, who know you? You can't know anything. When we came here, sir, we did poll for 5 days. I was tired in sleeping in this beautiful hotel. You know what? Adewusi was removed as the chairman. And Bele Osage became my chairman inside this hall. And that gave birth to STB in 2005. I don't have any regret for supporting you. I will continue to support you for the rest of my life. But you need to do something. Having served the Nigerian Army for 35 years, I'm a veteran and I'm a security consultant. I specialize in crime prevention and I'm a detective. I was well trained in the military and I'm a soldier diplomat. Utilized me. Crime prevention. Crime prevention is the in thing in this country. I specialize in crime prevention. I nose down. I do surveillance. I do tele job. And I do the investigation. And I was one of the best recovery agents this country can be think about because I know the technical know-how. Oh, and may God bless you.
We will
my
come
dear
back
Tony,
to you.
may God bless you.
We will come back to you. Bless you too.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
The last thing I want to tell you, the only company under the subsidiary that you need to look into for us to benefit more, I'm sorry to mention this, forgive me, is Afriland. Do something for us there. We need your assistance so that they can be better compared with Transcorp Hotel, Transcorp PSC, Transcorp Power, and every other, United Capital. They are fantastic. Afriland should be fantastic too, especially on the welfare of shareholders. God bless you. And I remain Sir Olatunde Okelana.
Well noted.
Thank you.
That's the chairman. Okay. Fourth, and then one more. I see Sonny Mosu, and then my friend Hamza. That is it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not applying for a job, you know. Somebody without leg cannot run. So, what I want to say is that Okelano said you are Onyebuchi, or what did you?
Forget about who is there.
So, God has made you what you are. It's not human beings.
Yes.
I want to tell you what you have done to the former directors will be done to you too. The respect you gave to them will be given to you too. So, I want to thank you, but there's somebody I thought would be here, but he's not here. Your very good friend, Philip, the former managing director of UBA, Odoza. I expected him to be among the directors that we are honoring today. So, however, whatever is the reason, I'm sure he's busy. That's why he's not here. But I appreciate the fact that Emmanuel is with you. Narum is there. And he's one of your best advisors. Mr. Narum is a very nice guy. And no wonder you are putting him in all the companies, you know. So, Mr. Chairman, I want to follow the statement you made. Either Oliver or yourself made that statement last week in the Punch. You said, shareholder, we should not worry about the recapitalization because you are going to meet the recapitalization before the deadline. So that gives me hope that to say maybe we are going to experience what happened in other companies by spinning off certain things and increasing the capital. You need to tell us what you intend to do about the recapitalization. If you say we should not bother, that means there's hope for us that something is coming, either through bonuses or spinning off and giving us shares in those companies. Mr. Chairman, I hope you are listening to me because...
we're discussing your bonus proposition.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Thanks.
Okay. So, you see, the 75 years is no joke. In fact, you need to change African Global Bank to, if it's possible, you have a lot of English people there who can find another way to reflect World Bank, UBA World Bank. That is far much better than African Global because you have crossed that level.
Thank you.
And I want to appreciate Ghana branch because Ghana has changed the face of that street. I went through the street, the color, the red color and the flag that they placed on that street actually changed a lot of things. So it's also important that we want to know what has happened to Ghana because most banks were having problems with Ghana in recapitalization. What has happened to Ghana? So on that note, I want to thank all the regional CEOs for the feat they have been able to achieve. So congratulations, we shall give you a round of applause. Shall we give them a round of applause? Because when they started, we talked that it's going to be a lost ground. But today is a very good investment and decision that you have done. Mr. Chairman, as you know very well that Sonny Wosu is not the Sonny Wosu of yesterday. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to thank Odum, who is by your side. You are the lion, he is Odum, and Odum in Igbo language is also a lion. So, both of you are lions that will make sure that UBA goes World Bank. And I know I saw my friends on the board, like Angela, like 1 and 2 Angelas. I am so happy seeing A.B. Abubakar. I remembered when I wanted to take loan from UBA. He came out of the office to say, his Sonny, give him loan. And I also saw Akinyemi, who was on my throat as a director of Ati Briscoe, that he was really on my throne. I am happy with him for being the deputy managing director of UBA. After the meeting, I'll tell you good stories about Ati Briscoe. We have gone out of all that loans and everything. So I'm happy to say this. And I'm happy to say that you tried your best in ensuring that you follow us like the Indians to the toilet to make sure that you get what you wanted. Mr. Chairman, as others has prayed, I share the prayers with them. At my age, I'm one of the oldest men here. And I'm saying very clearly that God will bless you and bless your handwork. Please don't venture to go into politics, even though you are from the family of politicians. No way. We prefer you here because we don't want anything that will stain your name. Politics is a dangerous game. You can see what Ndudim is seeing in politics. That is no joke. So please, we pray that you will give us the forecast for 2025 so as to give us hope. And I want to thank you for being a listening chairman, that if you did not listen to the management, what we are discussing today may not have been possible, because Oliver made sure that he carried his management along. That's why we are having a seamless affairs in UBA. Mr. Chairman, maybe I should allow you to finish discussing with the head of management. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I want to thank you and thank Odum for making it possible for me to. He insisted that
Billy,
I must be at this meeting.
Thank you. Okay, next.
Thank you very much. I am the beginning and the end here. No other next here.
No, okay, after you. Okay, yeah. Hamza.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for this opportunity. And I need to especially say this, that I carry UBA for head. I am not holding it on my hands like Dr. Farouk, no. I carry the thing for head.
Well done, Hamza.
So it is on that note that I would like to begin my contributions today. Mr. Chairman, a lot of my colleagues had said quite a number of things. But then, as so to speak, the voice of the youth in this building today, Mr. Chairman, I want to first and foremost appreciate the dividend of 2 naira 30 kobo, but then from an EPS of 17 naira plus, Mr. Chairman, you are a man that is reputed to have said poverty is a threat to human existence. And to that effect, I don't want to, because I know the president is your friend, so I don't want him to say it is at your meeting that one particular Hamza is battering him. But everybody knows that the economy, since the arrival of Tinubu at Aso Rock, has been on the downturn. So the 2 naira 30 kobo, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if it is possible that the way you have discussed the bonus that Sassoni mentioned, you can also talk about improving on the 2 naira 30 kobo to maybe 5 naira. The reason is this, Mr. Chairman. We are a bank of many firsts. In 1970, Mr. Chairman, I make bold to say we were the first Nigerian bank to raise IPO. The records are there. In 1998 again, we were the first Nigerian bank to issue GDR. There are so many other firsts of UBA. This is our Diamond Jubilee, 75. The bank, the AGM, the 62nd one, I think that one actually wanted to compete with your age. But then, there's some months of discrepancy. So, please, I don't know if it is possible that you do that. Mr. Chairman, quite a number of, like I said, my colleagues had said so much. So I will not be talking so much to, like you had earlier said, we should not repeat what had been said. But then, Mr. Chairman, I need to point out that the your personality. Look at the beauty of the board. Is this from my brother Alex Alozie to Ugonwa Odo to my indefatigable? By the way, Mr. Chairman, I had a son in November last year, and I named the boy Abdul Karim Oliver Onyemechi Ridwan Hamza. Because I cannot afford to name him Onyemechi alone and leave Oliver out. But I will name him Onyemechi. I cannot go back to naming Ugo. And I will name him Oliver again. I will not come to Billy. But then I think I gave him Akiyemi too. So, so Mr. Chairman, I just want us to appreciate you, because we talked about in the account, we've seen the many awards that the bank got in the year under review. This is by no means a small feat, and it is something that the shareholders appreciate a lot. And we have given our thanks, just like you did, to the management and staff of the bank. But then, Mr. Chairman, while somebody was speaking, some of them said they need promotion along with the increments in their salaries or pays. Mr. Chairman, I need to point out that in South Africa, there's a particular lady, and this is talking about Tony Elumelu Foundation's philanthropic gesture. Her name is Janine. That lady, from nobody, just applied for the Tony Elumelu Foundation, and from nowhere, she got the $5,000. It was not a magic. And somebody in Kenya too, Maureen, did the same thing. As a matter of fact, somebody just in our neighboring Cameroon, that is why I'm not surprised at the award that the bank got in Cameroon. That one first got 5,000 and came back to apply again for the other one that is centered around women and got $10,000. Please let us give this man a round of applause for those. Mr. Chairman, if we want to continue with that line, we cannot possibly forget the Segun Ayodele in Nigeria, who went into pure water business. And today the guy from almost a scavenger now generates $500 to $600 per annum as of, I think, 3 years ago. And I'm sure that, and he has about 50% in his employment. Those are the magic ones that you have been blessed with. Mr. Chairman, somebody talked about Owen. And I say, it is not just about Owen being the person to watch, but this lady, and especially this my good friend, I saw him the other time, Obong Idiong, from being mere your executive assistant. And I am sure Omosefe is also learning from them. From being mere executive assistants, have become CEOs of world-class companies. And to this, not only do they owe you that gratitude, but also that we that are saying it know and appreciate your personality and your personality and the gestures. Mr. Chairman, I will not go without talking about the accounts. And it is, yes, and it is on that note, Mr. Chairman, that I would want us to open to page, page 194. Banking sector resolution costs. Mr. Chairman, when are they going to kill this AMCON that is trying to kill us? We cannot afford to continue paying these monies. They are reaping from where they did not sow. Mr. Chairman, if you look at page 195, you see taxations continued. And you see tax effects of so many things under that. Mr. Chairman, the same government that is collecting all these tax from us will collect withholding tax when we get our dividend. They have also introduced a cyber security fund, which had been suspended for review. This same government, Mr. Chairman, is collecting, when we transfer money, both the person transferring and the receiver pay for the same service. Mr. Chairman, we cannot continue. Let them know, and that's why I don't want to talk too much on this thing. Let them know that we do not appreciate this, and they need to look into all this and review it. Mr. Chairman, our 5 naira, I'm sure you will look into it and it will be paid. Thank you very much and God bless.
Okay. All right, shareholders, I think we have, I know today is Friday. Our Muslim brothers and sisters have Friday service. But we deliberately said it's part of the 75th anniversary that we're celebrating, to open it up and let our shareholders speak. And I'm happy that almost every shareholder that wanted to speak has gotten the opportunity to speak. We will respond to the points you have raised. I think it's largely appreciation and commendation. We thank all of you on behalf of the board and as management in particular. I want to say thank you so much for your kind words, your advice, and we'll be guided by all of this. I'm going to have the group managing director, the deputy managing director, and the group executive director of finance and risk respond to most of the issues. I'll just speak to 2. First, some members spoke about the gender issue, equity. I wanted to respond to that, to say that in UBA, starting from the board, there was a time it was female majority on our board, up until MM was appointed deputy governor at Central Bank. ENN today is his first, he has not even attended first board meeting. Today, his first engagement. So before him, before his appointment, we had female majority. And then someone spoke about the executive director that will have just 2, Shola and Abiola. We had Shola and Abiola before. But the truth is, to us, it comes out as us having a lot of females on the board, but they all deserve it. So it's not just for gender balancing for us, it's more of competence and what people deserve. They all have worked very hard to be there, and I want to assure you that your bank is merit-driven. But the good thing is that in that merit equation, you have a lot of females who do well. So we continue to have significant female representation on the board. And on management at that level also, I think the communication team that packaged the annual accounts, maybe it's the way they package it. They've taken lesson from what you have said. But the truth is, we do have a lot more female executives in the group. And if you look at UBA Africa, we have a lot of female country CEOs in UBA. And also we have female board chairs across Africa. Because UBA is, and this is a point I've been making, UBA should really be a bigger holding company because we don't look at it as Nigeria. No, it's UBA, Nigeria, plus 19 other countries in Africa, plus UK, plus America, plus UAE and France. So we do have, in fact, the CEO of UBA is on record, the 2 OECD representations, our countries. America's CEO is a female, UK CEO is a female. So it goes on and on. So I thought I should assure our shareholder that the women are well represented. Second point is recapitalization. Oh no, before recapitalization, Sonny also asked about PO, Philip Odoza. He had confirmed he would be here. I would just ask him, Billy, when he said that he's not here. So he said something cropped up. But the rest assured is 100% part of the family. So recapitalization. If you know, last time the central bank drove in 2004, came up with a recapitalization drive, we were the first group to comply, as in to cross and that was part of the birth of today's UBA. So when the GMD says you shouldn't have any concern, it's serious. It's something we know how to do. So we will, well ahead of the specified 2026 deadline, your bank will surpass that. What are we going to do? One of you asked specifically. Today's resolution, all the resolutions speak to what we're about to do. There's the issue of the rights and series of rights that we'll do. And then there's the issue of private placement. And then there's also public offer opportunity. But I don't know if you get to that point. But if you get to that point, fine. But rights, as these shareholders will have the right. Because, let me explain to our shareholders the inherent value in your institution. Our shareholders' fund is roughly 2.1 trillion naira, 2.03 trillion. That's our shareholders' fund. What we ask to raise is take your capital to 500. But the central bank has said they need this money by additional inflow. So if it was issue of recapitalization of your earnings, of your reserves, we won't even ask shareholders to bring anything. So there's a lot. And this is important to shareholders, and our online shareholders should also listen to this. For any shareholder that is unable to pick up his or her right, you're leaving value on the table. And let me explain it. If the shareholders' fund is 2 trillion, and today the actual paid up is 1.2, 115 billion. It means you were going to bring in 385. If you bring in 385 and there's a shareholder that don't take anything, it means the bank can go to people who have not suffered for that retained earnings that we have. It's quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, shareholders, please, we will take everything that comes to us. We'll take all our rights, but we don't like to eat alone. We don't like to eat alone. No, we don't eat alone. We have a track record that demonstrates that we don't eat alone. When my brother spoke, he spoke about the only banking group in Nigeria and on record. And at times when people make it on social media, I just laugh. And you all know this, that split UBA standalone and all other companies were not sold to the owners. We took everything public. So that's our track record. We democratize prosperity. We would like everyone to share in this. So I'm requesting, advising shareholders, as you get your dividends, if you can, reinvest significant part of it. My group and I, we will reinvest 100% the dividend we get. Because if we do not do so, we are leaving food on the table for others who did not labor for it. You know, we could have been sharing dividends over the years that by today, our shareholder fund would have maybe 1 trillion, would have shared 1 trillion to all of you. That additional money we are asked to bring to the table would have been brought from your earnings, from your dividends. But because we have been prudent and conservative, we felt no need to do so. Let's keep, because banking, you need all the capital you can get. Let's keep reinvesting. And so we conserved. But unfortunately, the policy is that fresh money must come in. So if you do not take a, and that is why one of the resolutions we want to raise series, the rights is in series. First one, we have a second one maybe after we do half-year interim audit. We have next year, March, when we finish another, so that we're doing this to give shareholders the opportunity to raise money from at least your own investment to be able to reinvest. So the recapitalization, as I said earlier, there's no issue at all. 3 stages: rights, private placement, and public. I doubt that you get to the public offer. I doubt. Because you'll be selling the shares at giveaway for when the intrinsic, the value of the company. Value today is priced at almost like 0.23 of your book value. You can't do that. Your children will ask you, Mommy and Daddy, where were you? So take advantage. The private placement, to also explain to shareholders. The reason we have it in one of the resolution is that today UBA is no longer a Nigerian bank. We're a Pan-African bank. We're a global bank. We operate in different jurisdictions. So we want to use this opportunity to create access for people from across Africa in particular, especially in the present countries we operate in, to invest in UBA. So every country will have the opportunity. We are looking if it's like $10 million to $20 million, Ghana, raise people who want to invest up to that, Tanzania, Kenya, etc. So if what we don't take by rights would almost be taken up by our customers, investors and friends in Africa, then before the public. So relax. Last point on that, the issue of bonus. Unfortunately, as I just explained, we cannot declare scrip or bonus for this because it's not recognized. They need fresh injection of equity. And in fairness to central bank, there's also a reason they are holding that viewpoint. But for us as an institution, we will comply and surpass within the time frame. Thank you. So let me now call on our GMD, then you hand over to DMD, and then ED Finance and Risk will finalize.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Board Chair. I would like to first of all thank all the shareholders for your comments and for your support all through the year. Your comments today, for me, is very important where we can improve. So we're taking in those comments, and we're going to use them to continue to improve your bank. I would like to address some of those comments in this way. First, the comments on customer service. I would like to tell shareholders here and those online that the primary strategy of UBA is called Customer First Philosophy. We are a customer-focused bank. So customer service is our primary strategy. And this customer service is on 3 pillars. 1 is staff, 2 is technology, and the 3rd one is process. So we have continued to improve staff welfare as a strategy to attain excellent customers delivery. For the past 12 months, we have reviewed staff salary twice. In line with all the inflationary trends. And not just in Nigeria, I must say this. Remember, your bank is in 24 countries. In all those countries, we are reviewing staff salary in all the countries. We have promoted staff for the past 12 months. We have done 3 promotion exercises. And we have promoted a total of 4,000 staff across all the subsidiaries. So, your bank is very... I'm sure staff here and staff online are aware that we prioritize their welfare. It's critical. And once you get the staff, and we're also conducting training. We are training staff, not just in their local country, also outside the country. We are doing that. We also, like the chairman said earlier, our special product this year has been the Graduate Accelerated Development Program, where we have taken in 1,200 staff, trained them for 6 months before unleashing them into the system. And more we will do this year. So, on technology, and I want to talk on the area of cybersecurity, which is very important. We are investing so much on cybersecurity. Your bank, there are attacks happening even as we speak, globally. And we are doing everything to ensure that those attacks are defended and your bank is safe. So your bank is safe. But I will need your help. I would rather want to say I will need your help. I believe everybody here is a customer of UBA. Everybody here is a customer of UBA. I saw the cards. Then we need your help. The help is that we have checked in all the cyber attacks or forgeries or frauds that we've had. It is in-house. So you need to be very careful with those that have access to your card. You need to be very careful. Your drivers, your relations. We see when we do the investigation, eventually it comes down to the family.
So I hope people understand the point. So in-house doesn't mean UBA. He's saying that people around you are those who have access to this. So to be careful and be guided.
Okay. Be careful and be guided. That will really help us because we have done a lot and we have pushed them out. So you have to be very careful to be sure they don't have access. UBA will never ask you for your PIN, whether by email or by telephone. Anybody who asks you that, don't. UBA will never ask you of that. And that is very important. Now, there's a product we have introduced, which I would like, you can test it to any of our branches. Now, you can go to UBA, you want to make transfer. You don't need to fill any form. You just will introduce a biometric system. Once you get to UBA, they give you a device. You press that device. That device verifies you immediately, and you can make your transfer. It's foolproof. It's happening every day. Then the issue of general performance. Thank you for your comments on our performance. I want to assure you that we are inspired by that performance. The whole staff of UBA, we are inspired with that performance. So the outlook is great. UBA is a diversified business across 24 countries. What that does is that if one country is having an issue, we have the other countries contributing. UBA Africa today is contributing about 55% of our income.
Abiola, stand up.
That's the Amazon. That's the
But to say that he handed over to her too, when he became GM, Abiola to go back from.
Go for it. Abiola, thank you so much. So 55, and we have told her we have to move more. And Nigeria also needs to do a lot more. So your bank is diversified, and that is a very great advantage that we have. Otumba Muta specifically asked about our performance this quarter. This last quarter, first quarter, we did 156 billion naira in profit. And that's over 155% of our growth compared to that of 2023. And by the end of the year, I can tell you we are moving far more forward. You're going to hear more about UBA again at the end of the year. What that does, we will continue to pay dividend. We will continue to pay.
Somebody said 5 naira. We have set target for the GMD and he's saying 5 naira, right? 5 naira dividend, right? So we can pay for our rights, right? I support, I'm part of shareholders. I support.
We are not afraid. At least we have gone from kobo kobo to naira naira. So we're not afraid.
So naira naira.
You will recall that last year, our price, the share price, we had the highest growth in the market. You recall. The growth was 238%. You also recall that our dividend yield is averaging about 12%. So we will continue to work to ensure that you are happy keeping your investment in UBA. We have hope that in other countries that are also doing well, I want to let you know that in other countries, they are pushing very hard on performance. In some of the countries, UBA is number 1 or number 2 or number 3 in the industry. And I can give you an instance. I can tell you in UBA Congo Brazzaville, we are number 1 on profitability. In UBA Chad, we are number 2 on profitability. In UBA Cameroon, we are number 3. In Liberia, we are number 1. In Sierra Leone, we are number 1. We are doing a lot, gaining market share. We want UBA to be a systemic important bank in any country where we are. And our businesses outside Africa, like mentioned, UBA International, are also doing very well and contributing. So your bank is doing well, and I want to thank you for your support. Thank you very much.
So, but just speak briefly, just 1 minute, and then ED Finance, 1 minute too.
Good afternoon, shareholders and directors. Thank you so very much for the opportunity and for investing in us. I won't repeat what my GMD has said and what Chairman has said, but I would just like to commit to you that we will deliver exceptional value this year. And as Chairman had said, when you invest in UBA, you're not only investing in one geography, you're investing in 24 geographies. So your Naira is investing in Kenya, is investing in US, is investing in UK, is investing in Ghana. So in our usual adage, let's make the wise choice. Thank you so very much.
Good afternoon, esteemed shareholders. I would just like to quickly address the question around non-performing loans. Yes, indeed, during the year, non-performing loans rose to 5.8%. But that was because we had a couple of facilities that were defaulting, and we had to do the responsible thing of classifying them. But the good news is that they are well collateralized, and we are in the process of realizing the collaterals. So you should begin to see that reducing as we progress. Our mantra is that if you owe UBA, you must pay. So we have taken on the recalcitrant customers and classified their facilities. And then I think one of the shareholders had asked the question around the resulting impairment charge on the P&L. So I just thought it was important to mention that the impairment charge we had in the year was mainly as a result of the fact that we prudentially made a portfolio impairment for loans. We believe that the economy, general economic situation in a number of countries, not so strong, and we made provisions for loans that have not yet defaulted. But we just think that there's a high chance that some might default. And the provisions we made in that regard was in excess of 90 billion naira. So this is provision for loans that have not yet defaulted. So you can imagine that the profit for the year, psychologically, you could just add that back to the profit for the year. And since I have only 1 more minute, let me quickly address the question around borrowings. I think 2 shareholders talked about borrowings. Indeed, borrowings and servicing the debts and all that. So I'd like to refer us to note 39 in the annual report, where the borrowings are pretty much laid out. And what you'd find, because a lot of the borrowings are foreign currency related, in the prior year, the exchange rate was about 450. And in 2023, the closing exchange rate was about 951. So that increase in exchange rates meant that it appeared that the borrowings were growing. But indeed, they were coming down. Because you'll see, if you compare the 2 years, you'll see that the rate of growth is not up to 100%, but the exchange rate went up by over 100%. And also, if you look in that note, you'll see a number of loans that have been paid down completely compared to 2022. You have Mashrek, SMBC, Abu Dhabi, all of them all paid down in 2023. So we are very responsible in servicing our debts. And finally, some customers with FX loans, how are we supporting them? We are working with our customers. We are staying close to them. We are supporting them to go through this difficult phase, and a lot of them are indeed cooperating, helping them to work through the tough time. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, we'll be breaking protocol. During when we finish, we can interact. But the next item. Okay. But hi, Chief Okelano. Somebody sent a message immediately. That's what he said about Afriland. That they've noted it and they will surpass expectations. So that is good. So thank you, shareholders, and thanks to our GMD, our DMD, and our ED for answering clarifying issues for shareholders. Today's our second AGM is different because we're celebrating UBA at 75. So we want to make sure that everyone is happy. Everybody has had the opportunity to speak here, and we want to carry everyone along. So thanks again to our shareholders. I now put the motion that the director's report and the balance sheet as at December 31, 2023, together with the profit and loss account for the year ended on that day, submitted to the meeting, be received and adopted. I now call on registrars to guide you in casting your votes and to announce the voting result on this resolution 1. Registrar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, please open to your voting applications. For those with devices, please activate your devices. Yes, I want to be sure that you're ready before we open up the poll. Some have kept their... Okay. All right, thank you. Distinguished shareholders, the voting will now open. For those online, ensure that your access codes have been entered on your devices. Please go ahead to vote. We have 60 seconds for this exercise. Thirty seconds more to go. Fifteen seconds more. 5 seconds to go. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, for the resolution, this project, for the resolution to adopt the annual reports and accounts, the result of the poll is as follows. 18,443,167,419 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast by proxies and shareholders, voted in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, shareholders. I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the declaration of final dividend. The directors are recommending a final dividend of 2 naira 30 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo to all shareholders whose names were registered in the company's register of members at the close of business on Friday, May 10, 2024. Shareholders are requested to note that an interim dividend of 17.10 billion at the rate of 50 kobo per every 50 kobo share was paid to all shareholders on October 6, 2023 for the half year ended June 30, 2023. If approved, the final dividend payable will be 78.66 billion naira to be paid today, Friday, May 24, 2024, May 24, 2024, at the rate of 2 naira 30 kobo for every ordinary share of 50 kobo, for every ordinary share of 50 kobo share to shareholders whose names appeared in the register of members at the close of business on Friday, May 10, 2024, bringing the total dividend paid for the 2023 financial year to 2 naira 80 kobo for every 50 kobo ordinary share. I hereby move that a final dividend of 78.66 billion naira gross in respect of the year ended December 31, 2023, be paid to all shareholders whose names appeared in the register of members at the close of business on Friday, May 10, 2024, be and is hereby declared. Will someone please second this motion? Our Lady.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman. My name is David Adenike Okoyemi. I so second.
I now call on the registrars to guide us in casting the votes and to announce the voting results on this second resolution. Registrar?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. Please go ahead to cast your votes. For those voting online, select for if you are in favor of the resolution or against if you are against the resolution. For those using devices, please press 1 if you are in support of the resolution or press 2 to vote against the resolution. Thank you. 30 seconds to go. $20 seconds remaining. $10 seconds to go. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, for the declaration of the dividend, the result of the poll is as follows: 18,661,857,267 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 1,233 units of shares, representing 0.00% of the votes cast, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
Distinguished shareholders, I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the re-election of directors retiring by rotation. In accordance with Article 97 of the Articles of Association of your bank, annual general meeting, 1/3 of the non-executive directors of the bank shall retire from office. The following directors are accordingly retiring by rotation and offering themselves for re-election. 1, Mrs. Caroline Anyang. 2, Ms. Aisha Hassan Baba. And 3, Erelu Angela Adebayo. Gender. Now we're also being gender balance. Since voting is by poll, the re-election of directors shall be taken individually. Or do you want to take everyone together? I hereby move that Mrs. Caroline, a non-executive director retiring by rotation and offering herself for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected as an independent non-executive director of the bank. Will someone please second this motion? No, Ramon, the other man, sorry. No, the second man, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The name is...
No, go ahead. I'm telling him that his time will come.
The name is Lawal Wahab Olatunji. I rise to second that motion.
Thank you. I now call on the registrars to guide us in casting votes and to announce the voting results on this resolution 3-1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has now commenced. Please go ahead to cast your votes. Remember that we have 60 seconds for this exercise. $40 seconds to go. $25 seconds more. $15 seconds to go. Please cast your vote. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, for the resolution to re-elect Mrs. Caroline Anyanwu as the director of the company, the result of the poll is as follows: 18,236,209,898 units of shares, representing 99.09% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 167,227,581 units of shares, representing 0.91% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
Okay, distinguished shareholders, I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. Congratulations, Caroline. I hereby move that Ms. Aisha Hassan Baba, an independent non-executive director, retiring by rotation, herself, offering herself. Sorry, shareholders. I hereby move that Ms. Aisha Hassan Baba, an independent non-executive director, retiring by rotation and offering herself for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected as a non-executive director of your bank. Will someone please second this motion? Okay, our man in front, I didn't speak. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The name is William Adibayo. I rise to second that motion.
Thank you, Williams. Thank you. Registrar, I now call on you to guide us in casting the votes and to announce the result of the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, please, the voting has opened. Please go ahead to cast your votes. For those voting online, select for if you're in favor of the resolution, or select against if you're against the resolution. For those with devices, please press 1 if you're in favor, or press 2 if you're against. We have 35 seconds to go. Twenty seconds more. Seconds to go. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, for the resolution to re-elect Ms. Aisha Hassan Baba, OON, as a director of the company, the result of the poll is as follows: 18,372,849,676 units of shares, representing 98.66% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 248,818,686 units of shares, representing 1.34% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
Distinguished shareholders, I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried, and congratulations, our director. I hereby move that Erelu Angela Adebayo, a non-executive director, retiring by rotation and offering herself for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected as a non-executive director of your bank. Will someone please second the motion? Hamza, I thought Hamza was raising his hand. Okay. Okay, Hamza, go. Is that your card? What? Oh, you couldn't vote.
Okay. They will come and attend to that.
Hamza, gone.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you very much for this opportunity. But the reason I raised my hand before seconding that motion is to acknowledge your leadership. Please, wait. Hold on. You don't know where I am going. So let me land before you bury me. Mr. Chairman, for us in this hall,
members, one meeting, please.
We have just approved the final dividend. And maybe I should not have come to you straight. I should have said that, Mr. Chairman, we have no doubt the best registrars department in the whole of Africa. Here in this hall, Mr. Chairman, we have received our dividend in less than 2 minutes. Mr. Chairman, not only that, but look, there is no other registrar, at least in Nigeria that I know of, that is capable of doing this. And I think...
If you're Sinach, I hope you're listening to what he's saying, you and your team. Okay.
And I think, Mr. Chairman, we need to commend these people.
Please take that statement again.
There is no registrars in this Nigeria, at least, that I know of, that is capable of doing what Africa Prudential has done by having paid our dividend less than 2 minutes since past, and also this kind of online voting. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I rise to second the motion for the election of the director.
So,
God bless.
Africa Prudential Registrar, you hear validation from the shareholders. They say you're doing great. But let me also commend UBA for providing the money for dividend to be paid immediately. Okay, let's vote. Registrar, can you please go ahead and vote?
Thank you very much, shareholders. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has opened. Please go ahead and cast your votes. The team are going round to resolve. "30 seconds to go. "15 seconds more. "3 seconds more. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, for the resolution to re-elect Erelu Angela Adebayo as a director of the company, the result of the poll is as follows. 17,899,563,667 units of shares, representing 96.12% of the votes cast by proxies and shareholders, voted in favor of the resolution. 722,250,458 units of shares, representing 3.88% of the votes cast, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. Congratulations. The next item on the agenda is the remuneration of auditors. I hereby move that the directors be and I hereby authorize to fix the remuneration and expense of the auditors for the year ending December 31, 2024. Will someone please second this motion? I'm going to the back. Our lady, yes. Okay, don't worry. You move the second one, and I'll come back to you. Two of you. Then after that, I go that way. Go on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Peace Mosu. I hereby second the motion.
Well done.
The motion, move the motion, sir.
Registrar, please. Chief Sonny Mosu, that is your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. Please go ahead and cast your votes.
Okay.
40 seconds remaining.
Wow.
$25 seconds to go. Five seconds remaining. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, For the resolution to approve the remuneration of external auditors, the result of the poll is as follows. 18,662,805,054 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast by proxies and shareholders, voted in favor of the resolution. 3,648 units of shares, representing 0.00% of the votes cast, voted against the resolution.
Statistically insignificant. Okay, I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the disclosure of the remuneration of managers. May I request that you kindly refer to page 241 of the annual report for the remuneration of the managers of UBA for the year ended December 31, 2023. The next item on the agenda is the election of members of the Statutory Audit Committee. The directors nominated to represent the board are Ms. Angela Aneke, please stand, Independent Non-Executive Director, and Dr. Kayode Fashola, Non-Executive Director, please stand. I now call on the Company Secretary to give a report on the nominations received for the Statutory Audit Committee. Company Secretary, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, distinguished shareholders, a total of 95 nominations were received, out of which only 3 nominations were valid. The valid shareholder nominations are Mr. Feyi Ogoji, FCA, Matthew Senajo, Esquire, a legal practitioner, and Mr. Alex Adio, MBA Finance. The remaining nominations were invalid due to reasons such as nominees not being financially literate, the nominees and their nominators not being shareholders of the bank, and the nominations being submitted less than the prescribed period of 21 days before the AGM as prescribed by the Companies and Allied Matters Act. Thank you.
The Company Secretary has confirmed that a total of 3 valid nominations were received for membership of the Statutory Audit Committee from shareholders. The following shareholders have been validly nominated to represent shareholders on the Statutory Audit Committee. Mr. Feyi Ogoji, shareholder, Mr. Martin Esinanjo, Matthew Esinanjo, shareholder, and Mr. Alex Adio, shareholder. Consequently, since only 3 shareholders are required to serve on the Statutory Audit Committee, and there are 3 valid nominations from the shareholders, there shall be no need for an election. I now move that pursuant to Section 404, subsections 2 and 3 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, an audit committee be and is hereby constituted for the 2023 financial year with the following members: Mr. Feyi Ogoji, shareholder, Matthew Esinanjo, shareholder, Alex Adio, shareholder, Angela Neke, independent non-executive director, and Dr. Kayode Fashola, non-executive director. Will someone please second the motion?
Thank you, Chairman. I am really glad for this opportunity. My name is Adeyekun Kayode Victor. I second that motion.
Thank you, Victor. I now put the motion to the meeting. Those in favor, please raise your hand, right hand. Those against, please raise. Opposition, muta. Opposition is absent. Opposition is absent. I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. Muta has not recovered from the shock of last night. Congratulations, congratulations. The next item on the agenda is the approval of remuneration of directors. I hereby move that pursuant to Section 293, subsection 1 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, that the remuneration of directors of the bank for the year ended December 31, 2024 be and is hereby fixed at 50 million naira only for each director and 75 million naira for the chairman. Will someone please second this motion? Many people didn't raise hands again. I'll come to this side, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hereby second the motion. My name is Roseline Abu Awaji.
Well done, Roseline. Well done, Roseline. I now call on the registrars to guide us in casting votes and to announce the results. Registrar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. Please go ahead to cast your votes. Remember that we have 60 seconds for this exercise. We have 50 seconds remaining. $35 seconds remaining. $25 seconds more. $15 seconds to go. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has ended. For the resolution to approve the remuneration of directors of the company, the result of the poll is as follows: 17,898,405,483 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast by proxies and shareholders, voted in favor of the resolution. 1,000 units of shares, representing 0.00% of the votes cast, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. So, board member, let's thank shareholders. You know, this is the only one has, okay, this is 100%. Thank you. Distinguished shareholders, recapitalization matters. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the increase of share capital. I hereby move that the issued share capital of the company be and is hereby increased from 17,999,710,683 naira only, divided into 34,199,421,366 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each to 22,500,000,000 by the creation of 10,800,578,634 new ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, ranking pari passu with the existing ordinary shares of the company, and that the board be authorized to take the necessary steps, if deemed appropriate, to cancel any unallotted shares of the company or to further increase the share capital of the company to an amount sufficient to accommodate any transaction undertaken by the company to raise additional equity capital. Will someone please second this motion? Okay, the people who have spoken before. Yes. Let's leave people who have spoken before to give room to others. You know, I've been recognizing people here, so it's time to recognize a few here too.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I'm grateful for this opportunity. My name is Musa Shitu Abuki, and I so second the motion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I now call on the registrars to guide us in casting the votes and to announce the voting results on this Resolution 7.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. Please go ahead to cast your votes. Remember that we have 60 seconds for this exercise. Those voting online, press 4 to vote in favor of the resolution, and press against to vote against the resolution. $25 seconds to go. $15 seconds more. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has ended.
Wow.
For the resolution
100. Wow.
to approve the increase in share capital, the result of the poll is as follows: 18,443,329,773 units of shares, representing 100% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. There is no vote against this resolution. Thank you.
Wow. That is quite symbolic. I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the approval to raise additional capital. I hereby move that the board of directors of the company be and is hereby authorized to raise additional capital through the issuance of securities comprising ordinary shares, preference shares, convertible and or non-convertible notes, bonds, or any other instruments in the Nigerian and or international capital markets, either as a standalone issue or by the private or by the establishment of capital raising programs, whether by way of public offerings, private placements, rights issues, and or other transaction models at prices, coupon, or interest rates determined through the book building or any other acceptable valuation methodology or combination of methods in such tranches, series, or proportions within such maturity periods and at such dates and upon such items and conditions as may be determined by the board of directors of the company, subject to obtaining the requisite approvals of the relevant regulatory authorities. Will someone please second this motion? Our Lady. Okay, I'll come to you, Mr. Brian. I'll come to you after this. I'll come to you next. Sorry, I'll come to Our Lady. I'll come to you.
Mr. Chairman. The name is Akitunde Mary Asojo.
Registrar, please guide us in voting and announce the result too.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. Remember that we have 60 seconds for this exercise. $35 seconds remaining. 20 seconds to go. Ten seconds more. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has ended. For the resolution to authorize the Board of Directors to raise additional capital through the issuance of securities, the result of the poll is as follows. 18,494,683,508 units of shares, representing 98.89% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 208,322,410 units of shares, representing 1.11% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. Underwriting. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the resolution on underwriting. I hereby move that the capital raise approval in the preceding resolution may be underwritten on such terms as may be determined by the Board of Directors of the company, subject to the approval of the relevant regulatory authorities. Will someone please second this motion? Man in brown.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I so support. The name is Unyiwola Musumola.
The registrars, please guide us in voting and announce the results too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. "50 seconds more to go. "40 seconds more. "25 seconds remaining. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has ended. For the resolution to approve that the capital raise referred to in prior resolution may be underwritten on such terms as may be determined by the Board of Directors of the company, the result of the poll is as follows. 18,022,415,571 units of shares, representing 96.74% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 606,733,329 units of shares, representing 3.26% of the votes cast, voted against the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the resolution on the sale of rights. I hereby move that any shares not taken by existing shareholders within the period stipulated under the rights issues may be offered for sale to other interested shareholders of the company on such terms and conditions as may be determined by the directors, subject to the approvals of the relevant regulatory authorities. Will someone please second this motion? Let me go to this side before they kill me. Yes. After that, I'll go.
Thank you, my chairman, for recognizing senior citizens in this hall. I am Yekina Adisa, Governor of Focus Shareholder Circle, I rise to second the motion.
Thank you. And, governor without state of... I now call on the registrars to guide us in casting votes and to announce voting results on Resolution 10.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. Remember that we have 60 seconds for this exercise. Forty seconds remaining. Twenty more seconds to go. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has ended. For the resolution to approve that any shares not taken by existing shareholders within the stipulated period under the rights issue may be offered to sale to other interested shareholders. The result of the poll is as follows: 18,023,007,498 units of shares, representing 96.74% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 606,733,329 units of shares, representing 3.26% of the votes cast, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the amendment of the Memorandum and Article of Association. I hereby move that pursuant to the earlier resolutions, that Clause 6 of the Memorandum and Article 10 of the Articles of Association of the company be and is hereby amended to read as follows. The share capital of the company is 22,500,000,000 naira divided into 45 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each. Will someone please second this motion?
It's me. It's me now. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity.
But it's okay. Next one. Okay, go on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. The name is Martins Akim Abiola. I so second the motion.
Thank you. I now call on the registrars to guide us in casting our votes and to announce the voting results on this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Remember, a special resolution requires at least 75% of votes. Go ahead, please.
The voting has commenced. Remember that we have 60 seconds for this exercise, and we have 45 seconds to go. Thirty-five seconds remaining. Twenty-five seconds to go. Ten seconds more. The voting has ended. Distinguished shareholders, for the resolution to approve the amendment to the MEMAT, the result of the poll is as follows. 18,022,929,656 units of shares, representing 96.57% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 639,557,115 units of shares, representing 3.43%, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the authority of the board. I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to appoint such professional parties and advisors and perform all such other acts and do all such other things as may be necessary to give effect to the above resolutions, including, without limitation, complying with the directives of any relevant regulatory authority. Will someone please second this motion? There's one at this side. Okay, Madam in green, we are coming to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My names are Afinju Taiwo Anolua. I also second the motion.
Registrar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has commenced. $50 seconds remaining. $35 seconds to go. $20 seconds more. Five more seconds. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has ended. For the resolution to authorize the directors to appoint professional parties and advisors, the result of the poll is as follows. 18,055,762,534 units of shares, representing 96.75% of the votes cast by shareholders and proxies, voted in favor of the resolution. 606,722,796 units of shares, representing 3.25%, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Registrar. I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I know time is spent, we're almost there. The next item on the agenda is the resolution on related party transactions. I hereby move that in compliance with the rule of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, the company and its related entities, the group, be and are hereby granted a general mandate in respect of all recurrent transactions entered with a related party or interested person, provided such transactions are of a revenue or trading nature or are necessary for the company's day-to-day operations. This mandate shall commence on the date on which this resolution is passed and shall continue to operate until the date on which the next annual general meeting of the company is held. Will someone please second this motion? Lady in green, lady in green. Lady in...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. My name is Princess Adele Akintayo Wasilat. I second the motion.
Okay. I now call on the registrars to guide us in casting our votes and to announce the results on Resolution 13.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished
Related parties are not to vote on this and should be excluded by the registrars. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, as announced by the chairman, only the proxies from non-related parties and shareholders present will participate in voting for this resolution. The number of proxies received that will participate is 440, with a total of 17,993,495,623 units of shares, representing 53.31% of the shares eligible to vote on this resolution. Please go ahead and cast your vote. The voting is already on. Distinguished shareholders, the voting has ended. For the resolution to grant a general mandate in respect of all recurrent transactions to the Board of Directors, the result of the poll is as follows. 17,607,000,000.
Sorry, Registrar, is it the same thing?
No, it's not. No, it's not all the proxies that are voting on this. So
okay, but this is correct. What you have here is correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay, go on.
17,607,688,727 units of shares, representing 96.67% of the votes cast by eligible proxies and shareholders, voted in favor of the resolution. 606,722,796 units of shares, representing 3.33% of votes from eligible shareholders and proxies, voted against the resolution. Thank you.
Distinguished shareholders, I now declare that the motion has been duly carried. Distinguished shareholders, ladies and gentlemen, as there is no other business on the agenda, I would like to thank you on behalf of the board for attending this annual general meeting and showing so much interest in your bank's affairs. I want to thank you for your participation. And that's what, that's. So I want to call on, exactly. Bishop, please. Bishop has gone. No, let me. No. Hold on, let me get someone who had not spoken before to our lady who wanted to speak before.
My name is Mma Honorable. Thank you, Chairman. You promised to give me a minute, but it's time for opening prayer. I don't know if I can still have that minute.
Closing prayers first.
Okay.
Closing prayers. Closing prayer.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman. After the prayer, because everybody is looking forward to this prayer, I'm honored and humbled to be the one giving a closing prayer for this event. Father Lord, the grace you gave us today, your mercies you have given us today, for this annual general meeting holding here, the 62nd for United Bank of Africa, UBA, and the 75th year of this wonderful organization. God our Father, you are the only one who cares for all of us and keeps to your promises. So we thank you for today, for what you have done for this organization, where most of us here are shareholders, for what you have done for the owners of this organization, and for what you are doing for the staff who are making sure that this organization keeps moving forward. Thank you, Father, for the success of this organization, because the UBA's success is our success. Today is Friday. Those who are Muslims are going for their prayers. Those of us who are not Muslims, we have other things to do. Father Lord, the way you brought us here safely and nicely, we pray that you also take us back to our various destinations. In your hands, we hand ourselves, and we know that you do that for us. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Father. In God's name, I have prayed for all of us.
Thank you,